Yesterday, I did a video on Trump's post war Gaza vision, an absolutely ludicrous plan. But I later realized that I left out some very key points that should have been factored in, and that's why I'm doing this video. I'm still pondering on what Trump is saying about Gazans and post war Gaza. And he's saying, just for your reminder, that Gazans should be moved from their place, dumped into Egypt and Jordan, okay? And this is absolutely against the will of the heads of states of these countries and even the people of these countries. Trump is basically arm twisting the king of Jordan and the president of Egypt to take in Gazans simply because he who pays the piper calls the tune. We know, and we've been saying that Egypt gets a lot of financial support, and so does Jordan. These countries get a lot of military and economic support from America. And for that reason, America has been doing what we call imperialism on these countries. None of these countries can stand up to America. Whatever America says, that's what they do. And that's what happens really. I mean, beggars are not choosers. If you're a beggar, you can never choose from the options. And that's basically what Africa has been the whole time, really. Coming back to the point though, Trump, who is a capitalist, a crazy capitalist, is saying that America should take over Gaza, rebuild and develop the place, bring in tourists, and the Gazans will have to be moved to these countries that I mentioned with no right of return. Because remember, the Gazans should have absolute right of return to their country, to their own land. But America, a crazy capitalistic country, wants to invest in that land because they believe that people should pay to live. They believe in this, stupid idea that people have to pay to live. They have to pay for the land that they live in. Listen, the idea that America should take over Gaza, it doesn't matter what they're doing there. The rebuilding and the development, that is nonsense. Taking over Gaza is absolute colonialism. So America is now moving away from being an imperialist to being a full-scale colonialist. And that's what Trump is driving, basically. They're moving away Gazans from their own land, dumping them over to Egypt and Jordan, where they're gonna become absolute slaves and refugees, people that don't have an identity, don't have a land of their own, don't have any freedom whatsoever. Okay, and this way it gets crazy. Listen to this, because a lot of people don't take this point seriously. Capitalism serves that you have to pay for everything to live. It's all about making money. It's all about making profits. It's a crazy idea, but that's the beast that rules the world. It's actually a beast. They're saying that the Gazans should now stop living on their own land, living in their own land, where they pay nothing to exist there, but now should go over to become tenants in Egypt and Jordan, where they have to pay for houses, they have to pay for the land that they will be living in, and where are they even getting the money to pay from? What jobs are they doing there to even pay? Why are they even moving out of their own land? You know what? A lot of analysts don't call it what it is. They don't want to call a spade, but that actually is a genocide. America is pushing genocide on the Palestinians. And that's what exactly Israel has been doing the whole time, basically. So America, in this crazy bubble of capitalism, they're imposing those crazy ideologies on people that have been living peacefully in their land and now they're moving them out, where they're gonna be living in other countries as refugees, and people that don't have rights, living with anxiety, fear, depression, tension. This the main point. Everybody who pays for the land that they live in is nothing but an absolute slave. If you pay rent, if you pay for the house that you live in, if you pay for the land that you live in, you are an absolute slave. Listen, when things go absolutely or extremely south, and you find yourself in a position where you cannot afford to pay rent anymore or pay for the land that you live in anymore, where do you go from there? They kick you out, they throw you out into the streets, and you just don't have anything whatsoever to live on. Remember, you'd rather not have anything else, but at least have a land of your own. At least have a place where you can fall back to when things go extremely south and the economy goes wild, and the extremes of reality hit you. You can always fall back to your land and have some basic peace, right? But when your land is taken away from you, you have no freedom whatsoever. In fact, you don't have anything to hold on. And that's exactly what Trump and America is pushing on Palestinians. But what do you expect of the ego? Anyway, America is the ego, and the ego don't serve chicken. Egos don't pray for chicken, they prey on them. And that's exactly what America is doing, not just to Palestinians or not just to Gaza, but the whole world, really, if you think of it, right? So, this idea that America should take over Gaza is totally misplaced. It's absolute lunacy. Trump is dead on this one. Like, for me, it's inconceivable, but it's happening, and a lot of world leaders not even talking about it. They don't want to come out to call out America for this, this insanity. And it's just, I don't get it. Personally, I don't get it. But it's totally unacceptable. And if that happens, if anyone pushes that on the Palestinians, the whole world should just erupt in protests. What we saw in the anti-Israel protest was nothing. That was nothing. If they push this on the Palestinians, we should all stop the world, like literally stop everything, go out in the streets, stop America by all means, because this is dead. This is absolutely dead. It's inconceivable. Personally, I don't even get it, but yeah, that's exactly what they're doing to these people. Okay, and that's the world that we live in. Conflicts that are deliberate, strategic, artificial, totally unnecessary. And that is the disastrous effects of capitalism, really, where people just think about making money, making profits, and the welfare of humanity is neglected. Nobody cares about human life right now. It's all going crazy. And if you want to fact check this, just look at communist countries. Life in communist countries is much more affordable than capitalist countries. One thing that cuts across all communist countries is that housing is much more affordable. The price of housing, the cost of housing, the rent that these people they pay to live in the houses and in the lands that they live in is much more affordable than capitalist countries by far. Just check it out. You're gonna see that because it's very clear. And you see, the disastrous effects of capitalism just narrow down to land ownership. Really, it all narrows down to land ownership. Anyway, that's it for now. Just keep on watching the World of Conflicts. Remember to share, follow, and subscribe, please.